Good afternoon, everybody. It's a happy Victory Tuesday. It's a No BS TED Tuesday. I'm here with Ryan from No Border Sports, the No BS, and of course I'm Ted from TED Talks Ball, the TED part. So, Ryan, how are you doing on this fine Victory Tuesday?
Great. We freaking won that thing.
I mean, not just one. I mean, we embarrassed those guys, didn't we? I mean,
Hold on. We
this.
do have a Eagles fan in the chat right now.
Oh,
Who
sorry
who
for you Eagles fans.
he's a good guy. So let's not be too awful on him, okay?
Oh, is there such a thing? Let's see
he's a
here.
good young kid. It's
Let's see.
Philly special cards. That's a little spongy.
Oh, little spongy. Well, he's young. Maybe he'll figure it out once he hits puberty or something like that. We'll
Spongy.
see.
Come win a Super Bowl with us, bro.
There you go. There you
Give
go.
that. You got a $10 super chat. We need to.
Nancy Cameron in the house. The $10 super sticker. Boom. That
Way to
made my
go,
day.
Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah.
Great to see you as always, but a little greater when there's some cash attached. I'm not going to lie. It does help to keep the things moving here on the home front, no doubt about it. Jimmy Perez in the house says, "What's up, Ted? Hit the like and subscribe." Yeah, everybody, make sure if you're on TED Talks Ball, get over to No Borders. Give Ryan a like and subscribe. If you're on No Borders, do the same for me on TED Talks Ball.
There's
Subscribe.
a link in my description for him.
Yeah,
so
there's a link in my description also for Ryan. And then, if you're on a browser, open up two tabs. Make sure you mute one. Otherwise, it could be a little echoey and a little bit confusing. But, you can watch us both at the same time. That's some cool lights you got going on now, too. The thing is humming back there. It's like a ghosty orange. Wow, very cool.
It's a red, but it's darker, or it's bright.
It's very cool. It comes off as orange when it hits the red of the flag.
There's also red coming down too.
Oh, wow. Red everywhere.
If I could, I'd like to speak about something real quick.
Yeah.
So we had one of our faithfuls pass away Monday after the win. Somebody that I streamed a lot with, Corey Lockdown Davis. He had a lot of ailments, and he was in pain, but he always had time to stream. He wanted to do the pick'ems to make sure everybody kind of was a part of this thing, this community, and we lost him. So I just kind of want to, first thing, love Corey. There'll never be another. I streamed yesterday and my camera was just on an empty chair because
very cool,
but if you could get out there, and if you can get some people to subscribe to Corey Lockdown Davis's channel. We're trying to get them to probably at least 1,000. Some people are saying they want to get them to 1994, but let's at least get the man to 1,000. That's what a lot of us streamers strive for. That's like the number. So if we could get him there, even after he's moved on, I would be much appreciated. So,
yeah, no doubt about it. I know he was up over 300 yesterday when we were streaming.
I think we're over,
or maybe it's over
now.
400
I think
when
we're
we were
over 400
streaming
now.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So let's keep it up, folks. Let's get him to 1,000. Do it. That's an awesome goal, and I'm 100% behind that. Rest in peace to Corey Davis. I unfortunately didn't know him super well, but I know Bryant Culp and Tony were very close with them, and as was a lot of our community, as a fellow streamer. So
he was in everybody else's chats. Like he would always find you somehow and say hi. Even if it was at the end of the show, or if only he could stay for a couple minutes, he made sure he got around to support everybody. He was just a good guy. Just a good guy. Give everybody a chance, even people that don't deserve it.
That's awesome.
I mean, just a good dude.
That's all you can ask of somebody, no doubt. Bryant Culp in the house. Say smash the like button, everyone. Got, like you said,
Yes,
little
please.
Spongy, Philly special card saying, "Yo, what's up, little Sponge?"
What up, Sponge?
We got Don
Hey, they
Dodson in the
signed a
house.
linebacker.
Philly did. They signed Shaq Leonard first thing yesterday morning.
Leonard.
Yeah,
Yep.
formerly known as Darius Leonard of the Colts. He was formerly known as the highest paid linebacker in the NFL, just slightly ahead of Fred Warner before the Colts released him. Be curious to see the details on his new deal. I'm sure they're a little bit less than $19 million a year what he was making, but he's had some back issues and he's declined a little bit. So I'm not saying he's worth 19 anymore either. So we got Don Dodson in the house. Saying good afternoon, Niner family. Welcome, Don. Thanks for joining. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights in the house saying, hey, make sure you check out his channel. Bryant saying, hey, Ted and Ryan. John saying, hello, Ted and Ryan. Thank you. Brian Culp saying, smash the like button. Everybody, it can be fun. No doubt about it. Don't forget to debo the like button, says Don. Sensing a theme here. Nancy says, what's up, you two? Not much. Better now that you're here, Nancy. Better now that we're streaming. Better
Yep.
now that we kicked the Eagles' asses sideways, 42-19. What a game. What a shellacking. I thought it was going to be close. I predicted 20-17 Niners. Glad to be wrong there. I did think it was going to be a lot more wet, though, and I still have doubts about Purdy with a really wet football. But there was some mist, so it wasn't completely dry either. So we'll see. Nancy says, Hiroski, no Bo Nix. Hiroski saying, Corey, RIP. Don saying hi to Bryant. Andrew Martinez in the house says, RIP Corey. Absolutely. Prayers up for him and his family. All of us who knew him, especially those who were closer with him than maybe I was. Who knew him a little bit better. I'm sure there's a lot of people in a lot of pain over that, and that's always sad to see. But hopefully he's out of pain. That's the hope, when you're sounded like he had cancer, and that can be.
And I want to say, shout out to Bryant Culp because he went up to Corey's house, and he was the reason why I was able to talk to Corey one last time. And I'm sure that was pretty hard having to listen to everybody say their final goodbyes. So I want to thank you, Bryant.
Wow, that's awesome. He's a trooper, great friend to all content creators, and a great content creator himself too. So cheers to Bryant Culp. Amazing. Saying hi to Don. RIP to Corey Davis. Thanks. Cameron says, is that our first need in the draft? First need in the draft is probably right tackle for the 49ers. Although, McKivitz has been playing pretty well.
I don't think it's right tackle. I don't think it's right tackle.
But maybe tackle, period.
It might be left tackle.
Trent Williams insurance.
Or there's some reason Jalen Moore is here. You know what I'm saying? Like they have had a chance to get rid of that guy so many times. And I think they might just want to just settle with him.
I mean, he played well when Trent Williams was out from a pass blocking perspective. He did pretty well, but the run blocking was nowhere near Trent Williams level. But maybe that could develop in time. Bebop Jones in the house. Bebop. Coming to us from Bethlehem, PA, saying RIP Corey Davis. People saying hi. I will try to show all of the chats, even if I don't respond to all of them. Little Spongy says, I want to draft Jeremiah Trotter Jr. in the draft. What position does Jeremiah Trotter Jr. play?
I'm thinking he might be a linebacker.
I'm thinking that's what the Eagles need.
That's why I think he's saying. That's why I think he's saying that.
Nancy's thanking Bryant. Saying hi to Bebop. Hey, Spongy. I just read the CMC is the first 1,000-yard runner since Frank Gore. But what Yeah, linebacker. He's saying, yeah, that's what we thought.
Yeah, because I think Jeremiah Trotter, the senior, was a linebacker also.
Could be. Sounds about right. Um, yeah. So what do we think the 49ers' biggest need in the draft is right now? Then
It's gonna
right
be
guard.
Um, we've got guards. Our whole backup line, except for Jalen Moore, is freaking guards.
Don says that CMC is the first to have 1,000 rushing yards. That's right. CMC is the leading rusher, and he just went over 1,000 yards. So yes, that's absolutely 100% correct. Also, the first
Hiroski.
49er to do it since Frank Gore in 2014. So the first running back under Kyle to have 1,000 rushing yards, which is surprising because we've had such good rushing teams, but we've split it up amongst, say, like Tevin Coleman and Mostert, or Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr., or, we always found a way to keep our running backs from going over 1,000. Sorry, you were going to say something, Ryan?
Hiroski says quarterback, and he brought this question up earlier, so I want to kind of give it some 2-in-1 this. I do think we need to address quarterback next year. I'm not confident with Sam Darnold. I'd rather have some other young kid full of piss and vinegar who wants to show out and show up. You know what I mean? I'd rather have them than Sam Darnold, who's just trying not to throw the interception. I want somebody who's trying to throw the touchdown, trying to throw the first down. You know what I mean? I was watching somebody talk about Purdy, and they were explaining that you don't see a lot of these young quarterbacks really going for the deep ball when they have good checkdowns underneath, because they're scared of, making a mistake or not being able. And Purdy is just like, nope, that's the play. That's the play right there. Who cares about Christian over here when that's open? No, no, no. I mean, this is wide open right here, but I know BA between two people's going to get this. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of like that if you can back it up, I like that, because it kind of puts the defense on notice. It's like, I don't care who you are, what you got going on. I'm still going to get my stuff in there. And, doesn't matter if there is triple covered. I'm still going to go to him. And then there's going to be times when you got totally open, butt naked in the field, and I'm going to go to that guy too. Like George Kittle, that when they went in they were in man coverage and they went over and they had, I think it was a linebacker or a defensive end on George Kittle. It was like they were in a 3-4, and they had an end covering Kittle, so he just looped out to the side and caught. I can't remember. It was the one where Kyle Shanahan went like this and turned around before even it was a touchdown, because he knew that Kittle was gonna go. I think it was like 30 yards house.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah, I mean, anytime you put a lineman on Kittle, that's a mismatch. I mean, the linebacker on Kittle is a mismatch for Kittle. Even most safeties have trouble covering him. So.
It was a linebacker.
Outside linebacker.
Yeah, it's an outside linebacker.
Edge,
so
edge.
Not really an edge, but close to it. As close to it as you can get without getting actually an edge and not actually being a linebacker. An inside linebacker. Okay. Well, they got a little more. They got a little more cock to the walk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it. Did you see the news that we waived Ty Davis Price today?
Oh no.
Yeah. Ty Davis Price waived. We signed Logan Ryan, the defensive back, to the team.
That makes sense, but at the same time, like, he was doing good his last time I saw. So, like, I like all our guys in our room right now as far as the running backs go. So I wouldn't want to see a couple people get injured. And then now we got somebody who we just signed off the street, which that happened a couple seasons ago. We signed one dude, I think it was, because for like a game or two, because I think Jeff Wilson Jeff Wilson or not Jeff Wilson juicing, but was it Jeff Wilson Jr.? Anyway, Hasty was out. It was you know how we had Hasty
Yeah.
and for all
We
so
had
they
some big
overall
guy that wasn't very good. I
I
remember.
think his name was like Tank or something like that, or I can't remember
Sounds
for
about
the
right.
life of me. But I remember we had to bring, and I don't want that. And I'd rather have a Ty Davis Price, who knows the system, who is just now starting to go. I don't feel right about just letting him go now when he actually does what we ask of him. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's a bad, he he did everything we asked, really. Everybody's been calling to see more of him and Jordan Mason over Mitchell and CMC when we were going through that 3-game losing streak. What up, Laura Cat?
James Journal saying, "Come on, Cowboys, you can do it! Come on, Cowboys!" And if not the Cowboys, then we have to root for the Seahawks next week. Oh, don't make me do it.
I'm rooting for both teams those weeks.
Don't make me do it. Yeah, I know that's true. I know. Yeah.
Also, this is the other thing too. If the Dallas Cowboys win, I believe they get first in the division. They get first in their division, and the Eagles go to the 5th seed.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
So there is a lot of incentive for them to win that game.
Yeah, I'll say. No doubt about it. Well, is it enough? I mean, like we said, Eagles hurting at linebacker. I mean, I guess they got Shaq Leonard. I don't know what he'll be like by this weekend. Hopefully, he needs a couple weeks to get up to speed. Probably not, because he was just playing for the Colts. So
they signed him Monday, so that means that he's already passed the physical.
He'll probably.
And then, I'm sure he'll play, but to me, I don't think he's going to be as much of a factor as in next week. But this is the thing I'm thinking. We just put everything on display for them, right? And it's not a scheme, it's a player, it's a personnel issue. So who do you think Dallas right now isn't like trying to figure out how to take their offense and exploit it in the same area of the field as we did? You know what I'm saying? Not copycat our plays. Maybe they might. But, they might copycat 1 or 2 plays because they're like, well, this isn't damn, we can run this. You know what I mean? It looks just like this other one we run. You know what I mean? But I think they're just going to use their playbook to exploit the middle of the field on them. I think that's the play right now against the Eagles until they can figure something out.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, just one linebacker is not going to solve it. You need 2 to 3 good linebackers. So they're still going to have some issues there until they get Zach Cunningham back and or Nakobe Dean back. Hiroski saying, I like Mitchell and Mason, though. So I was just looking at our depth chart, and I was looking at our practice squad, and I'm seeing Jeremy McNichols, I think, is the guy who's going to be elevated and stay on the 53-man roster. I mean, we only have one running back on our practice squad, so I doubt you can he played well in preseason too, McNichols. I remember he was pretty explosive. So I don't think you can expose him to the practice squad where he could get poached, and then you end up, like you said, getting some guy off the street, because that's not really off the street. That's a little bit different. So look for that. Look for the McNichols elevation this week. I would be surprised if we don't see that. Rick Diaz in the house says, what's going on? Great game. Surprised a lot of people. Big score. They got to keep going. Absolutely. That surprised me because I knew the Eagles D, was suspect. But the one thing we knew about the Eagles D is that they have a pretty good run defense. 3rd in the league coming into last game against us. And any team that defends the run well typically will have trouble with, because our offense keys off the run. And everything keys off the run. So That was why I thought we'd struggle. And I thought would there be wetter weather, and I thought that would cause us to struggle too. And that there was a teeny bit of mist, but let's face it, there was no real rain during the game.
Bro.
The ball was wet.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying hi. We got Jess from East Coast Red and Gold in the house, and let's go Niners. Make sure to check her and Ty, Maddie B, and Bex out tomorrow at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. Red East Coast Red and Gold crew. Bex gave me the Diva Den towel right here. That's that one.
Ooh.
Been part of my studio ever since. So the other day I said, "Hey, how did you come up with such a professional looking studio?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't think it looks professional at all. It's like a nerd fan studio. Like I see people with like nice bookshelves and really clean looking studios, and like mine's just sort of like there's a bunch of stuff thrown up on a wall. I don't know, but I thought that was nice. If they meant it, I don't know. Maybe they were just messing with me, which could be. Laura Cat saying hi to Dawn. Fortnite's got to win all the games. You know it. I know it. Yeah, and the Ravens. I mean, Seahawks, Ravens, Rams. Those are all kind of looming large. Cards have Kyler back. They've been playing a little bit better with him. Even the Commanders could be trouble. Like somebody asked me what is a potential overlook game. That's not what we call it. Trap game coming up here at the end. And I was like, any team can be a trap game if you overlook them. So, but I really felt like maybe the Cards, because then we have the Ravens the next week, and we'll definitely be looking forward to that game on Christmas Day. It's going to be brutal. And I'm just realizing I'm probably going to I don't know how I'm going to see the game. I may not see it till I'm back from vacation because we're going to be flying on Christmas Day.
The Rams.
So I may not see the Ravens game until right before the Rams game. I may see the Cards or the Commanders before I see the Ravens game, because I don't know how to get somebody where we're going on vacation to record it for me so I can watch it there. That would be the trick. If anybody has any ideas on how to do that, like
NFL Plus.
Yeah, but you have to pay for that, right? I mean,
$9 for 1 month. Oh, sorry, do it $15 for 1 month. There you go.
And it'll have the replay, and I can get all right.
You can watch all 22. You can watch the condensed version. You can watch the full stream version. You can listen to it live while it's going if you want.
Well, I'll be on a plane though, and over the Pacific, so I won't have satellite.
You sure?
Yeah. Well, I'd say maybe 10% of the planes have satellite dishes on them, but not like 90%. There's no Wi-Fi over the Pacific going to the islands. So, cry for me. I know it's a tough road to hoe, but
they need to get that Starlink.
I'm making a joke about it. Tiny bubbles.
They need to get that Starlink. But hey, think about the Rams. Think about the Rams as a trap game.
Yeah, Rams is definitely a trap game. They're playing well. Kyron Williams is balling out. They still don't even have Cooper Kupp back. I don't even know if he's coming back, but if he does, Puka Nakua's kind of turned into a monster. Stafford, we all knew Stafford was a really good quarterback. If you give him time and weapons, he'll hurt you.
Last game of the year, trying to just get into the off season. Yeah. Hopefully, try and take care of get a 1 week off for rest, and then you shit the bed. That could be a thing.
That could be a thing, no doubt about it.
We've had the Otis on them too, so this is like the way I see it. Like what, we're 7-0 essentially, right? In the regular season,
we are 9-1 in the last 10 against the Rams.
I'm talking regular season, so
9-0.
We're 9-0. Okay, so think about it. Like the average,
we've swept them 4 seasons in a row, and we got the SWE.
The average for us to win is starting to get drastically smaller with every win, right?
Go. James Darnall, not afraid of Shaq Leonard. Shaq Leonard has been washed for years. They'd be better getting Shaq O'Neal. You rang. I love when he does that with the Boban. You rang. Anyway, my Shaq impersonation is terrible. Everybody's saying hi. not the same player after changing his name. Well, he also had a back injury, James. So those could be a little iffy, but it's kind of thing like where if he does come back, it's kind of thing like where you can be bad for a while, you think he's washed, and all of a sudden he starts to feel a little better, has the right surgery or the right rehab, and all of a sudden you're back from the back. But most of the time, people don't rebound too well from those. So I would say we're pretty safe thinking that he will never be what he once was, which is one of the best, up there with Fred for a while.
Yeah, he was number 2 to Fred for a while.
Yeah, it's a copycat league. Our defense beat the Eagles twice, Saleh and New York, and Wilkes and SF, now in SF. Oh, interesting.
Emotional, damn
I
it.
think there's some differences with Wilkes, but
there's some different wrinkles. There was different wrinkles with D'Amico
Ryans. Yeah, D'Amico Ryans. Poor Texans lost Tank Dell this weekend, and he and CJ Stroud were just lighting it up. Maybe the best QB wide receiver duo in the NFL.
What happened with Trevor Lawrence? I didn't look into that.
Oh, I watched it. I was watching the game last night, and
I know.
So basically he was
came out today
holding the ball.
I saw it. What came out today?
Oh, well, and the guy Smalls, what's his guy? Little. There, I remember joking with the Jags creators about like, oh, Little's not a very good name for an O lineman. Well, he stepped on his ankle, and that's not his fault. He didn't see him. He's backpedaling. He's got a D lineman pushing him back, and he's backpedaling. And he steps on Lawrence's ankle. But then Lawrence like fell down, and he like fell on the ankle, like his ass landed on his own ankle. And he was like fell over backwards, which is really awkward, especially for your knee. Like I was worried for Trevor Lawrence, like that he might have popped his ACL with the knee bent like that so awkwardly. So thank goodness it wasn't an ACL. It sounds like the X-rays were negative, so it's like an ankle sprain. So probably 4 to 6 weeks would be my thought.
Yeah, I watched it happen.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that's what I was trying to tell you in the middle of that, but you didn't
Don't
listen.
stop me. Let me just go on and on trying to explain it.
I couldn't.
Well, that's true sometimes too. But I'm just glad it's not broken. I'm glad it's not an ACL. Who would have thought it would have been such a good game with the backup quarterback for the Bengals? He played really well. I mean, especially if you consider that, they had that stupid trick play to Tyler Boyd. It's like,
throw that pitch
way back to him. He's way out to the left, way behind the quarterback. So it's clearly a backward pass. He's clearly going to throw it. And he like looks right. And then he's like, thinks better of it. He takes a couple steps to the right and he pulls back and throws again. And Josh Allen, the other Josh Allen, the Jacksonville Jaguars DN Josh Allen is there. Interception, almost a pick six. That was a crazy play. It's like a good example of why not everybody should throw football. Not everybody, just because you have a good arm doesn't mean you're a good quarterback. That was like proof of that.
Debo in the Super Bowl. He's a rookie. He's got a pass lined up for him. He looks downfield. He's like, nope. He ran that ball. He looked downfield. It looked like hell. He's like, nope. They told me if it's not there, just tuck it and run. And it's not there. He put it up. He was like, yeah, nope.
So my point is basically like without that play, without that interception, then the backup QB for the Bengals might have won that game fairly easily. So at least it might not have needed to go all those field goals at the end and everything. But it was a good game. It was a good game, and CJ Beathard played a little bit better than I expected. Still no game-winning drives for CJ though. That kind of I have to admit I was happy about that. I was rooting against him. I'm such a dick. I was like, I don't want him to get a game-winning drive. I don't. I want to be able to forever cap on CJ Beathard because
His
That's
brother got
it
murdered.
doesn't fit my narrative that CJ Beathard has a game-winning drive. So so I'm glad
His
that's
brother got murdered. You can't let him get one.
well, no, that's terrible. I mean, that's awful. That's totally different than the football thing.
I know, but you think
I
you
guess
let the
I
guy
kind
get
of forgotten
one
about
thing?
that too, Ryan. So
Sorry.
it's all right. No, it's good to bring up, and maybe next time I'll be rooting for him to get that game-winning drive now, instead of being such a petty dick like I can
Because
be.
when he came out yesterday in the game, I immediately remembered, and I thought, because I believe his brother was like trying to protect a woman outside of a club.
They're in a bar in Nashville or something,
Yeah,
right?
which is some stand-up man shit to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's sad that he had to lose his life in that. So
Absolutely.
I remember that. I was like, because some people just can't just be good people. You know what I mean? You just have to be a piece of shit, and then other good people lose their lives, and the only person that left is that piece of shit.
A lot of people, no doubt about it. Cup didn't play the first game. He did not. That's true. And the Rams played us tough in that game, I'll tell you. We were losing at the half, or at least right before the end of that first half.
He came back and he had like an all right game, but he didn't come back as Cup. Like Puka never left. You know what I mean? Puka never left. Cup showed up a little bit and then he kind of left again. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm correct.
Puka's balling, no doubt about it. Crazy Juice in the house saying, "Sup, Ted and Ryan? Sup, Crazy Juice? Thanks for joining."
Jeez.
We might even be resting the starters, I hope, by that point. I said that, but considering we're a game behind the Eagles and we play the Ravens and the Seahawks, those are both losable games. So I don't see how we'll be resting, unless we're resting because we can't get the number 1 seed at that point. That's another way we could be resting, is if the Eagles just went out and we're just like, oh, all right, no chance to get it. Then even then though, I think they would still be playing. We might get it. So it's hard to imagine, unless we've lost between now and then we're just clearly, no matter what happens, we can't catch them.
I had some Eagles fan on Twitter trying to say, we're arguing about, the game and whatnot. And he's like, but your record. And I was like, what is our record having to do that we know we can go into any opponent's house and beat them? AKA, if we don't have the number 1 seed, then it's going through your house, right, bud? Okay, so get ready, because we can come back and do that same shit we just did. You know what I mean? Who cares about the record?
Yeah, no doubt about it.
The record doesn't mean crap in the playoffs, bro. It doesn't mean anything.
It's all about just being healthy, hot, and rested. I did hear some people talking about on 95.7 The Game that maybe it might be better to have the number 2 seed anyway, because you play Detroit instead of playing like Eagles or Cowboys. But I don't know that the Lions are easier than the Cowboys at this point. And definitely you want that bye. You want no chance of losing the first week. You want to rest up. Rick said you're going on vacation. You're not gonna see the 49ers game. Yeah, I will definitely not see it on Christmas Day. I may not see it till I get back, but now with Ryan's advice, I'll sign up for NFL Plus, and at least maybe be able to stream it while I'm there. The full replay, not the condensed version. I want to see it all. So thank you, Ryan, for that.
The condensed version is usually, you can see it, I think, 2 hours after the game, but you can watch the full version after the game anytime.
Perfect. And then Laura Cat says, if you have Xfinity, you can record the game on your DVR and then watch it on your phone laptop. I definitely do have Xfinity, and that's how I was going to watch it when I came home, was off of my DVR. But then the thing is, when you're on vacation and you got to be going through your damn DVR to make sure it doesn't get booted off. Have you ever done that? You record something you really want to watch, so and then you wait a week and you got all these other scheduled recordings, Good Morning Football is a big one that takes up 3 hours. And all of a sudden it auto deletes your show because you didn't.
If you're going to do that, if you're going to do the NFL Plus, you need to make sure you turn off scores. So then when you go into it, you won't see the score of the game
Oh, good.
as
Thank
you're.
you. That's a
There's little
pro
options.
tip
Make
right
sure to do that.
there.
Yeah, bruh.
Because it's never the same watching a game when you know what happened.
Got you.
I'm sure
Got you.
someone will blow up for me anyway, because everybody knows I'm such a big Niners fan. They're like, what do you think about beating the Ravens or losing the Ravens? I guarantee you that'll happen before I can watch it, but I'll do my best. But thank you.
Just turn off airplane mode that. Airplane
Yeah.
mode that.
Just put on blinders and earplugs.
Airplane mode. Then you can hit what? Wi-Fi, and that
Tell
should
my family to all be quiet. Yeah.
turn all your messages off. But wait,
Very
you
important to win them all, Rick, for sure.
You can
Chicken
you can
alert.
use your data, right? Can't you get data across the Pacific with your cell phone?
No.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
I guess there's no towers.
There's no right.
Smart,
See,
right?
it works over the continental U.S. It works just fine.
Yeah.
But when you're out of the Pacific, like I said, only about 10% of the planes, we fly Alaska, and only about 10% of the planes have satellite dish. Yeah. So there's a chance that I can watch it live with Wi-Fi and Alaska Airlines entertainment system. We'll see. That's even if it's at the right time, too, because we leave early in the morning. So, oh man, we fly it all the time because they have. If you have their credit card, you get, buy one get one. Well, that's a great deal when you're going to the islands, for sure. So, friends fly free or whatever it is.
Back in the day, my dad was my whole family's airplane nuts. My whole dad's side of the family, all airplane nuts. So my dad would know the exact plane I was stepping foot in before he got the ticket. It's an MD-80, son. McDonnell Douglas 80. Yeah, MD-80. Yep, MD-80. You're going on an MD-80. You know what I mean? Like, because that was they were like the most. They were like the bulletproof plane. Like, they were just great planes. So he was always making sure, what kind of plane is that? Oh, we could go the next day. Yeah, MD-80. Yep, MD-80.
It matters. It matters.
Always
no doubt about it. It does. When it's, all your marbles or all your eggs are in one basket, you want to make sure it's a good basket. James Renall says the Eagles have the Giants twice in the cards. If the Eagles don't lose the next two games, we need to tank our last game so our guys can get rest. Yeah, we could build our own bye against the Rams by resting starters. Just doesn't seem like that's Kyle's style, though. What do you think, Ryan? Do you think Kyle would ever?
It is not. Do you think it's just Kyle? Try and tell George Kittle that he's not playing the last game against the Rams. Try and tell him he can't go out there and have a chance to sweep the Rams for a fifth straight season in a row. Try telling other big name guys try telling Debo, hey Debo, we don't want you out there on the field this game. He'd be like, well, no. Aaron Donald needs to remember my name. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I don't see that being a thing.
There you go. Carcast says, sup, guys? Thoughts on the Logan Ryan signing? You want to go first? Or you want me to run with this one first?
That's the defensive back?
Yeah. Well, basically, Carcast, Hufanga tore his ACL, and George Odom, so Jair Brown backs up Hufanga, but then George Odom is next in line. He tore his bicep against the Seahawks on Thanksgiving. So we are super, super thin at safety, and we're not super, super deep at corner either. So anyone who could play both is in deep need. I think we decided we needed that more than we needed Ty Davis Price at running back. So, although, like I said, I think watch to see Jeremy McNichols elevated from the practice squad. I would say that is very, very likely, since we only have one running back on there.
Oh, gotcha. Remember what's his name? Jameson. Who's that guy in preseason that he was doing returns to?
Oh well,
Remember he messed up a return, but he was
yeah,
in
he
the
got
secondary.
scooped up when we didn't sign him to the 53-man roster.
Mhm.
When we took Isaiah Oliver instead.
Mhm.
Yeah, the
But hey,
Texas corner kick returner.
I can see us using Oliver as a safety. I've heard he was the one selling point when he came here was that he could play safety and nickel. And I'm okay with that because I think he's better at being a box safety than he is being a nickel corner.
It's too close for me. No, I just don't want to ever see him on the field again, honestly. Which is unrealistic. We will see him some, but as little as possible. No nickel. And if that happens, I hope I'm wrong. But I just don't trust him anymore at all in coverage. And that's not the main duty of a strong safety, I'll admit. But I don't know. I just I'm no more Isaiah Oliver for me if we can avoid it.
Yeah, all right.
Brian Culp, we've
I
seen it
just
live.
think he's trying to run up and drill people, and he's not so worried about covering. So let him play box safety and just worry about running up and drilling people. Play him to his strengths.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, Chick.
Well,
especially when it was owned at lineman. That sucks so much.
yeah. Walker Little, that's the guy's name. And then they had a running back named Tank. And I was like, that's a better name for a lineman. And
Yeah.
Little. Yeah, Little doesn't belong on a football field unless he's maybe a scat back or a slot receiver.
No.
Speedy little slot receiver.
You can have a little on the field as long as he's the biggest guy on the field.
Yeah. And it's just like a big joke. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
League is getting a taste of what we went through last year. Kiwis are dropping like flies. What the hell is going on? Trevor Lawrence will be back, though. But will the Jags still be in it? That's the question.
Ooh.
They lost last night. I haven't really looked at their schedule, but CJ, is that go? That must be CJ Beathard. Or was it CJ Stroud? I don't know. I think he means CJ Beathard.
Oh, he's talking about CJ Beathard.
Yeah, I figured. Bring back CJ. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Brian, go to the corner.
Yeah, Brian, you're in timeout. You're in timeout, buddy. Kim says I was rooting for CJ. I know I'm the dick who wasn't. So F Cancer agreed. Sentinels Football Channel. Welcome. Absolutely. CJ will always be welcome with the Niners, says Bryant. No Borders, I'm your 666 subscriber. Oh man.
I seen that. I was like, whoa, okay. We hit there. But hey, Sentinel, if you will, make sure to go to Corey Lockdown Davis's channel and please subscribe to that. He passed away, and we're trying to get him to 1,000. So if you could ask your people to subscribe to his channel too, 1,000's kind of that mark for all us content creators. So if we could get that for him, at least we know our boy is sitting there, set up.
There we go. Everybody's saying hi. I got a Scully. He gave me my first ever super chat, super sticker.
That's right. And I was here.
There you go. And he's back. $2. Thank you, Eggard. Very much apprecited. Very generous.
How come we can't see the sticker?
You mean like what the emoji is or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It was McNichols. Was it McNichols? Got It's the Kid 916 in the house. Salute to No Border Sports.
What up? It's the Kid.
What's up? He's on Armstead, Ross the Boss, and any repercussions for the Dre ejection. I mean, I'll keep hoping that Dom guy will get fired, but I think it's looking pretty unlikely at this point.
Yeah, I don't. as long as he's not suspended, which I don't think he's going to get suspended for
He
that.
better not. He better. He shouldn't even have been ejected. I mean, it was like he barely grazed the guy.
Why is some security dude up there anyways? Really?
Yeah.
It seemed to me like that security dude is there just to protect Nick Sirianni from getting his ass whooped from his mouth running too much.
From crazy fans.
Yeah. A guy like that, all you got to do is throat punch him and kick him in the balls real quick. And you can do whatever you want to him after that. I'm just saying.
Tell us all about it, Ryan.
This is the other thing. When they're taller than you, it's a great time to go straight up uppercut. You don't have to like do an uppercut like this. You're wasting time. Just go punch straight up. Oh, I'm a tall guy. I don't let the little guys get in there like that. No. That's a bad day. Oh, that hurts. You don't underestimate small people. I'll tell you what. Even as a big guy, I never underestimate them. They can mess you up, bro. I like fighting bigger guys. It's easier.
There you go.
I'm telling you, it's easier.
Slower. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. And like I could punch up. You know what I'm saying? That like I'm the short guy raining bombs from underneath your chin. You know what I mean? Like, woo.
The guy's name was definitely Jameson Bryant. McNichols is still on the team.
Yeah, Jameson. It's something like that.
Jeremy McNichols is still on the team. He's our running back on the practice squad. Here, I'll find
because he was making plays in the secondary. He was zipping around back there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was good.
Him and Brown were zipping around.
Jameson Williams is his name. Maybe not.
I like guys that zip around.
Lions. I don't think so. Oh, James. No, we know Jameson Williams. That's the receiver. Let's see. Put Texas in there because he was a Longhorn. Deshaun Jameson. D''SHAWN Jameson. That's his name.
Deshaun.
Yeah, not McNichols. Yeah, McNichols is good. He played well in the preseason, so he flashed. Hey, real quick, I want to do a quick commercial break.
Yeah.
I'm brought to you by TTG, the Travelstead Group. Their logo's up in the corner there. The red TTG. They are a retail and hospitality logistics company. So they do transportation and warehousing for brick and mortar. They do FFE, which is fixed furniture equipment. They do OSE, which is operating supplies and equipment. They do new store openings, rollouts, relocations, decommissions from the first mile to the final mile and everywhere in between. Travelstead has you covered. Let them know how they can help you via air, ocean, or land. Closed loop solutions for retail and hospitality. Nick and Henry are the go-to guys there. They have 100% US-based support. So, these are complex operations. There's usually some kind of fine-tuning, if not a snafu. It's good to know that you won't end up overseas in a call center with people who have no clue what you and your business do. Check out the websites in the description of the show, my YouTube About page, my LinkedIn profile, or LinkedIn. Well, it's in there too, but it's more my Twitter X profile and Instagram and Facebook. Click the link, check out the video. Be sure you tell them Ted sent you so they know where you came from. And thanks in advance, Ryan and our audience for letting me get the bills paid. I appreciate it. Had an embarrassing moment with them too, where actually, I'll leave it out. I'll just leave it out. But just suffice it to say, I was clueless and had to apologize for something. But I don't want to go too much into it. So there you go. Crazy Juice is saying what's up to Bryant. So, anything else we wanted to cover from the game? Do we want to talk about Seahawks and our expectations? I'll be there at Levi's.
I just something I'm kind of pondering. So we obviously beat the Seahawks. They've got a very talented group of defensive backs.
Yes.
It doesn't really look like that, but they are. I think the scheme isn't right for them. I don't know if they gave up a lot of point to Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if things change a little bit. Like, obviously, we just beat them 2 weeks ago, but getting wrecked 2 weeks in a row, I expect them to change up something almost completely different. You know what I mean? Kind of to kind of start from scratch. So I wonder if our offense will kind of have a lull in the beginning and start off slow and stagnant if they make a good correction to their scheme, which I think out of everybody, the Seahawks would know how to stifle our offense out of everybody of the next couple teams.
Yeah, I think they know how. I just don't think they have the horses.
I don't think
You know,
they do either, but they could. They could. They got young guys who don't know that they're not supposed to be that good yet.
yeah. I don't know. I just feel like when they lost Uchenna Nwosu for the season, that was kind of a death blow. They were already short. They were already a little bit anemic on their D line. They were lucky enough to sign Frank Clark right after that, and so that takes some of the sting out of it. But it's a step down. Let's be honest. Frank Clark is not as good as Uchenna Nwosu was this season. So, and then, beyond that, they don't have a lot. They have Boye Mafe, who's, a rookie or second year. I think you told me he was rookie. Somebody
Is he?
did recently.
I can't. I know he's so.
Let me
Joe
look it
Stevens.
up, because somebody told me he was, and I felt like he was
Okay.
the same year.
So
I
Joe
felt like he was
Stevens.
the same as Drake Jackson.
All right, we'll figure out here in just a second, right?
Yeah.
Joe Stevens was telling me that he's got a lot of I don't know, like a lot of trust in him to be somebody here soon. Not necessarily this season, but like on the
Yeah,
defensive
he's
line,
second year.
if anybody's gonna shine, it's gonna be Boyo Mafe.
Second year. Just like I thought, same as Drake Jackson. And someone's like, oh no. Oh, you know who it was? It was Bash on Friday. He's like, oh no, I scouted him this year. And I was like, okay, I could swear he was picked a few picks before Drake Jackson, because I remember he went to the Seahawks. I'm like, oh man, the Seahawks got Mafe. I really want him. And then we heard all this hype about how Drake Jackson fell and like he was supposed to be much higher and blah, 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 and, maybe he wasn't supposed to be much higher, I mean, maybe we reached at 62 or whatever we picked him at, so it's sort of more what it's looking like at this point. But it's early, I'm not going to write him off yet, but I mean, I'll just say not looking good for him this season, at least. So
yes,
that brings up that reminds me. So we'll come back to the Seahawks.
Can I talk about this real quick?
Absolutely.
So with Corey's passing, we are going to continue the Corey Davis Pick'em shows, but we are going to do them on David McNiner's channel because he's the one that started them back with Corey back in the day. Is kind of who was on the channel doing the Pick'ems. So it's only fair. Well, it's only right that David McNiner hosts the show now. So anybody within reach, if you have been to the show on Corey's channel, please come find us over at David McNiner's. If you don't know, make sure to tune in on David McNiner's channel Wednesday night at 7:00 and come in. You can say you want to be a part of the Pick'ems. We'll record your picks, and then you can come back the next week and see what you did. And at the end of the season, we'll rank everybody as how well they did.
There you go. So talking about Drake Jackson reminded me of an earlier conversation in this show where we talked about Niners draft needs in 2024 draft. And, we need to get a tackle because we don't know when especially if we win the Super Bowl, Trent Williams will probably retire on the spot. But he might retire anyway, regardless of what happens. So you think
remember
he'll keep playing, huh?
There's that 2-year window, right? So imagine you win the Super Bowl this year, right? And you look in the locker room and you go, damn, almost all these guys are locked up at least through another year, except for those 2 guys over there who at least one of them they're definitely going to lock up. They've been talking about it for a year now. You know what I mean? Like
back to back.
Right.
Yeah, no, I could see that being a motivating factor.
To me, if I'm going to stick it through this year, because I thought there was a chance if we win one this year, and like I said, I'm looking around the locker room, I'm like, I'm in for another year. I don't care how much it hurts. I'm in for another year, because what's better than 1 crawfish dinner?
2 crawfish dinner.
5 crawfish dinners.
5. There you go.
But yes, it would be 2 crawfish.
You haven't been playing in the NFL for 12 years either, Ryan. So it's it's hard to know what's in Trent Williams' brain.
No,
but he's definitely been beat up. There's no doubt about that.
You have to understand though, and
he's made plenty of money.
Oh yeah, that's why you spent all this time to get one, right?
Yeah.
But you could only spend, let's say, 1/12 of your previous career and get another one. You know what I'm saying?
But it's also like going out on top, dude. It's like if you don't, then you're like, why didn't I go out when I was on top? So that comes into it too. So yeah, I hear you. That's something I hadn't really considered, and I like it. Anything that keeps Trent Williams playing, I like it. So
do you think these guys? Do you think a guy like Trent Williams worries about a loss? Like, do you think the worries of like losing a season is something to stop him from getting? No, it's what's going to get him to go is the chances of winning. You know what I mean? We all know loss is there. We all know that. That's into our. I remember they had so in World War II there was German pilots that were kamikazes to our bombers, right? Sonderkommando Elbas, right? So this guy who was who was one of the pilots was sitting here talking about it. He's like, oh yeah, there was like a 92% chance that we would die, right? And he's like, but to us that was like 90%. We could make it, 8%. Oh yeah, we got this. Like what? Yeah, it's because you don't weigh on really how much the probability of loss is. You weigh on the probability of win is.
Okay, sure. So, sure, I guess. So as far as the draft needs for 2024, I was going to say defensive end is still probably a need. Unless, do you think Chase Young is going to stick around for a cheap deal? I don't. I heard people saying it, and I know it sounds nice and it's a good story, but when you're talking millions of dollars, granted he got a lot for being a number 2 overall draft pick. He's probably got 35 mil that he got guaranteed off of that deal. But do you think, I don't know, I do think, and if not D end, then tight end, I think is a need to get our tight end who can block and catch. Tight end too, who can block and catch. I've been wanting that forever. People talked about Frank Gore Jr. in the house or in the chat earlier.
Jerry Rice Jr.
There you go. Yeah, him too. We do need a wide receiver because odds are third and Juwan is going to third and Jawak out the door. So, Ronnie Bell's been nice, but, and I think we're all big fans and want to see more of him, but are we counting on him to carry the torch? I don't think you can. I think you would have to draft somebody that, to at least compete for it.
Hey, no. Hear me out. Braden Willis.
Braden Willis, he's going to come back. Yeah, I mean, he was great in camp. He was. Yeah. It's just the thing was he's not a very good blocker, but maybe he can improve that. That's something that easily could be improved. A lot of blocking is just effort.
Ultimately. Well, this is the thing. put
So,
him out as a wide receiver. Imagine him in the slot, right? He's a tight end, right? He runs good routes. He's got wiggle. And now he has to block DBs instead of defensive ends and
shouldn't he be
linebackers.
coming back soon too? Like what? He's not on IR like Latu.
No.
Like Latu's gone for the year.
Braden
So
Willis is.
shouldn't Braden Willis be back by now? Like
I didn't know he was off. I think he was on the depth chart, wasn't he?
was it? Is he been there the whole time and we just haven't seen him? I guess maybe tight end. Braden Willis, there he is behind Ross Dwelley. So now that Ross Dwelley's out for a while, maybe we will see some Braden Willis. I sure would like to. I was a big fan of him when we drafted him in the 7th round, and a much bigger fan after, like, he was like a leading receiver and leading targets a couple of days when I was there in camp.
I think we go after safety. Because think about this. Look, I love Hufanga.
Yeah.
But
you've got a chance.
Safety. You've got a chance to keep Chase Young and Nick Bosa together.
Right.
For maybe, like a 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? That's something. That is something. And I know you can't just pay Chase Young like safety money, but there might be room for negotiation with Bosa to restructure to make money for his buddy.
Yeah,
and then Bosa becomes.
We need a free safety, right? I mean, because Gibson's almost certainly going to retire.
And then you've got Nick Bosa can become the new Eric Armstead, and you just keep pushing his contract down the field because he'll retire a Niner type thing. That's how I see it. Maybe, you know what I mean? That I just don't see the 49ers upper management going, yep, Chase Young, thanks for unlocking the secrets to our defensive line and, making everything click, but we're going to go back to not having you and go back to having the same guys who it wasn't necessarily working so well with before. Not to say that it's not the guys, but we saw how big of a change that was and how much, like, now even the depth guys are getting stuff going on. They're getting sacks, they're getting penetration. Why is that? Because everybody's tired from having to run around and deal with everybody else. The first stringers are just running people rampant. And when they get rotated out, these guys are tired. Remember, offensive line doesn't rotate out. You know what I mean? That's tough stuff. I remember I used to stand around or sit around. I used to get in my stance and just sit there and watch shows. Get ready for the season. Getting them muscles trained. I told you I used to have a hard hat with weights taped to the top of it so it keep my head up. It had the muscles for the head.
Interesting.
Yeah. Real deal around here, bro.
Oh, absolutely. There you go. I was just looking around. It looks like Kenneth Walker was doubtful to play on Thursday against the Cowboys, which means I have a feeling he'll play against us this Sunday. That's big if the Seahawks can get Kenneth Walker back. I mean, Charbonnet's nice, but Kenneth Walker. I don't know
if it really moves the needle. The reason why I'm saying that is because their offensive line doesn't run block well. And if you don't run block well, you're not going to run block well against us, which means your running back is going to have to do all the work. And even if it's a talented person like Kenneth Walker, it's not going to make the difference, I don't think, because there's way too much work to do to actually get somewhere.
Well, but they got their tackle back too, their right tackle. Abraham Lucas is listed in blue.
Everybody on that line is there as a pass blocking specialist. And they have all right. I just, I got the homie Joe and Candace,
I guess they have a rookie right guard, so that's not good.
They just all pass block, Ted. That's their forte. They are not run blockers. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So if you can't run block, it doesn't matter about your running back. Yeah.
Fair.
You got to have a hole. You got to have
So
a hole.
do we have a score prediction for Seahawks Niners? You ready to put something on wax here?
I don't know.
We were favored by like 10 last time I looked.
Oh, it could be more than that. We're at home.
Yeah, we are. Like I said, I'll be there.
Like I said, I don't know if they institute something new or
That's
something
negative
old.
10.5.
I don't know if they bring something back. I don't know, to try and just at least give us something to think about, to where we can't just, because we worked them. They just got worked. We can go back and watch tape on another
They
team.
played
just
pretty
working
well
them.
against the Cowboys. Let's be honest. It was a high-scoring game. It was 35-41 or something like that. So it was a one-score game against the Cowboys.
Right, but
The Cowboys scored a lot, but so did they.
that's what I'm talking about. And I'm not worried about their offense. I'm worried about their defense. Their defense got scored on a lot last week.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. They might be changing something because they got exposed. I'm not worried
not
about
only
what
that,
their
but I'm
offense
pretty
did.
sure that their linebacker Brooks got injured too, didn't he?
We put up more
Jordan Brooks
points.
is listed in red.
We put up more points on that Dallas defense than they did. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure.
So, score prediction?
35-13.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'm going to go. With 30 for 30 to 21. 31-21.
Why do you keep always guessing over our team's average?
I don't know. I think that
like
with
our
their
average
right
points
tackle back
allowed
and Kenneth Walker back, those I think were two things that were really missing against us on Thanksgiving.
Because think about this, we've got like a 15-point average again. That's what we give up per game, and we've given up only in 3 games, more than essentially 15 points. So, like, we're actually, if you take those games out, we're average even less than 15 a game. That's why I'm telling you, it's going to be a low scoring game.
But you just said, 13. Okay, got it. All right.
Because if you take the losses out of it, right, our average is lower than that, lower than the 15. And if we're going to win this game, we don't need to have the losing averages in there, right? Because they don't correlate with the wins. You know what I mean? So if you take those out, I'm telling you.
I got you, Ryan, but guess what? You're talking about the past and I'm talking about the future. And so I don't think that everything that's happened in the past is destined to repeat. And I think they're going to be mad about what we did on Thanksgiving. I think they're going to play better. So that's what I think. I think eventually our talent will pull through.
They tried that.
We are much more talented, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a good game at halftime or even into the third quarter.
That even before halftime. Don't you remember one of their linebackers pulling everybody, the defense, to the side like, we know who they are. We could do this. And then they got their ass handed to them again for the rest of the game.
There was a little time in that Thanksgiving game where it got a little dicey. I remember my dad getting really nervous. And he said, "Aren't you nervous?" And I said, "Not until their offense scores a touchdown. I'm not." But yeah, I mean, I could see why people got a little nervous in that game. It was like we jumped out, then they kind of rallied a little bit, and then we jumped on them again towards the end.
They would, if Purdy didn't throw a pick 6, where would they be? 6 points.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Yeah, 6 points.
They would have 6 points in that game. That's what I mean.
But everything might have been different after that, though. That's the way it is. When you alter timelines, everything's different after that event. So, Maybe they got a little overconfident when they got the pick six, Ryan. I don't know. Bebop says we called off the dogs too versus Dallas. Absolutely, Bebop. It was 42-10 with like just under 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. I think it was 11 minutes and change, and we were up 42-10. So we easily could have put a 50 burger on them if we had needed to. On the Dallas
I wish there was a way to just be like, hey, tell the other coach, if you just kneel the ball, then I'll just kneel the ball and we can get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like,
avoid some injuries. And
yeah.
I don't think Vegas would like that though.
I don't care. We're not in here for Vegas.
Well, they have pretty big influence, I would say.
They shouldn't.
I know they shouldn't, but they do.
Right. They shouldn't whatsoever. If that's a conflict of interest, maybe somebody needs to look into that. Oh, something happened to my connection? Hello? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
I think they turned me off. I'm joking. They got to me.
Oh man, that means they get to me too. Shh, don't take me down with you, man. We're brothers in arms. One goes down, we all go down, right? Mercy rule. LOL, no doubt. It pretty much was. So we did our score predictions. We did our recap. I think we're good. We got Aaron coming up on 15 minutes here. Anything else? You got any burning desires before we call it?
No, just make sure everybody goes out and subscribes to Corey Davis, one of our beloved faithfuls who passed away. He lasted till after that Eagles game. Like, he made sure he was there to give us all his energy so we could have that win. And then I think it was a little too much for him. He's done after that.
Going out on a high note.
Strength into that.
Just like Trent Williams after we win the Super Bowl. He ain't coming back for a two for a repeat.
He got his hair cut that day. He's also being buried in a signed Jerry Rice jersey. So,
very cool.
Nice. Yeah, shout out to Bryant Culp and Joe Stevens for making that happen. Joe helped make sure it was a real one with a certificate of authenticity to make sure Corey didn't get ripped off. And yeah,
in the afterlife. That's good for all time and eternity. Well, R.I.P. Corey. Prayers up to him, his family, to all the content creators who are close with him.
Shout out to his brother Kurt.
There you go. And shout out to the audience. Here we go. Bebop saying we love you, Corey. Wow. Also, he said R.I.P. DeAndre Swift. That was awesome. Yeah, Lenore just decleated him. Crazy hit. Great hit. But yeah, no. R.I.P. to Corey. And prayers up for him and his family and everyone who knew and loved him. And he will live on in all of our memories as well too. And make sure you go and subscribe to his channel. Lockdown Corey Davis. Corey spelled Korey.
Yep. Corey Lockdown Davis. And we also got we're using a term called Quest for Corey. Instead of Quest for Six. Corey really wanted he wanted to win number 6, but he wanted 7 and 8 if we could get it. You know what I'm saying? So Quest for Corey is we want that 6th, and we're talking about 7 too, because Corey wanted to make sure we were first place. And I think that's a decent goal. And I think we can quest for Corey for that. You know what I mean? I think we should do that.
Yeah, whatever keeps Trent Williams here. I'm down, Ryan. You know me. Well,
Trent,
thanks everybody.
For Corey.
Thanks everybody who made it. It was a great show. Appreciate all the Quest for Corey. Appreciate all the audience interaction, the super chats, super stickers of Edgard and Nancy. So generous. Thank you again. And thank you, Ryan, for being my host on a weekly basis, for putting up with my nonsense.
Told you, I've seen it.
All right, I will just say Peace. Go Niners and beat the Seahawks.
To this day. To this day. To this day.